Hey you guys, Dria here, and I'm here today to give y'all a review over a trap and paint event that I went to here in Houston. And the way that I'm gonna start rating like things that I do in Houston, just so that y'all can kind of understand this, I'm gonna break it up into sections. So I'm gonna rate it based on the things that I looked for when I went to the event. And so I attended an event called Suga Brown's Trap and Paint. It was an event. I found it was on Groupon. I didn't find it. Actually, my friend found it and she told us about it. This is how our Groupon looked. And so it was in the Fifth Ward area. And so I'll start with I guess the ease of getting tickets for the event. It was very easy or whatever to get tickets. I just bought a Groupon and we got the event. It was going on a Sunday, and so we got there. And I'm gonna start with the ease of parking and the parking for the venue. The parking situation, it was a good one because usually when you go to events in Houston, it's paid parking. It's hard to find parking a lot of the times, and it's just that can turn into a whole ordeal, and ruin the whole going out process. When you gotta worry about where you gonna park, and it's not really spots and stuff like that. So I got there, parked, did everything. When I went inside, when I look at the outside of the venue, I was kind of where the hell am I at? What the fuck is this? It looked like a building, but it was in the back, kind of a ducked off little area. It just was kind of what's this? So I go in. The venue it's a decent venue. Yeah, she had the little lights on and stuff like that. It was, a decent, little setup up in there. So this is an example of the setup and how the paint boards were set up. They had pencil drill on them, and you just sat down and basically started painting. They immediately asked if we want a drink. So that was a good thing, I was I want a strawberry margarita or whatever. That's one of the drinks they had. They had other well beverages. They had Crown, Hennessy, stuff like that. So I just said I wanted a strawberry margarita. But once we start getting to the actual painting supplies and stuff like that, that was another thing. Now we go to sit down, and the event is kind of my paint board wasn't set up on an easel. It was kind of set up in one of them little stackable office shelf things, you stick files in the middle of it. It was my easel was set up there. So I thought okay, this is a little ghetto. And I'm not gonna lie, I did think that, because some people had easels and then some people had those little file things, and I thought that was weird or whatever. So I asked to change an easel with an empty seat, and I got the easel or whatever. So then that solved that problem. They had little basic paint there. On your board you had a pre-sketched out figure on your board, but I was still looking around, waiting for the instructor to come in, because even though they had the little sketch out, I'm just waiting for the instructor to come in at this point. So they bring me my drink, okay? And the drink is subpar. It tastes like juice, okay? I honestly felt like it wasn't no liquor inside of that drink, to be honest. The drink, I give it a 2 out of 10, actually. It would just taste like strawberry juice or whatever. Or that Margaritaville stuff you buy at H-E-B or something, maybe already pre-mixed margarita. It wasn't even strong like that. Even that you feel. This was some I don't know. I wasn't feeling the drink. So, besides that point, I'm still here, with my easel, waiting for the instructor to come in. And I'm looking at the paintbrushes, and one thing I did say was there was some real basic paintbrushes, not really good to paint with, because how you go to Dollar Tree and you buy that big industrial pack of painting brushes that you might buy for your kids or something, to do some little activity just to get them something to do. It was those paintbrushes. So that was one thing I was kind of damn, what are we gonna do with these little brushes? Some of them weren't big enough for this big old easel we had. So that was kind of thrown together, in my opinion. And I'm still waiting on the instructor to come in at this point. But then one of my friends was you know, here comes the lady. So the lady come over, hey y'all, blah blah blah, you know, she talking to us, chopping it up. She's like, y'all can go ahead and get started. And I'm looking at her like, get started with what? Like, where is the instructor? Like, who gonna come and help us? Like, tell us. Like, we're not artists. We don't really know how to paint. Like, where the person who gonna lead us? So there was no person. It was just a paint board with some pencil sketched on there. And you have to basically like paint, you know, I guess by like your feelings or whatever. Like, whatever you thought that you should put on the paint. You know, my friend, she said she doing her best, Lord. And I didn't like that. Like, that was something I was like, why is not an instructor here? The ticket was only $25. I will say that. The ticket was only $25, I guess. You know, but I would have paid a little bit more to have somebody there instructing us, because that's what makes it fun, because your picture come out good. You know, I would have paid a little more to have an instructor there. That was something that I was just kind of like, why the hell is it not one? So at the end of the, you know, painting ordeal, my picture turned out whack. Like, it looked ugly. My friend was next to me. She can't paint. Her shit was ugly. One of my friends actually did a good job. But if you're not really a person who like got a niche or a niche, I think that's the word, for art, like, that shit was kind of ugly, you know? And like, you just doing whatever the fuck. And then you wasn't even drunk enough to like, you know, not pay attention to that. Okay, and so the music was good, but you know, it was a trap and paint event, and I'm guessing like it was supposed to be like people dancing and stuff like that, but like the drinks was weak, so it wasn't even enough liquor flowing through my system for me to feel like I wanted to even dance. It was like a little speaker in the corner with some lights coming out of it. That was the music. So it really wasn't that loud, but it was loud, I guess, loud enough. It just like some of the stuff that was done, it wasn't really like, seemed like it was a lot of thought and effort put into it for me, the kind of events I like to go to. So I mean, it might have worked for somebody else, but for me it was a little like, this some ghetto shit. That's what I was thinking the entire time or whatever, right? And I just have to give you my honest opinion. So then the girl who running the event, she's like, you know, twerking a little bit, you know, dancing, and I'm just like, you know, I guess she's trying to get the mood set. And I get it, when you're a startup business person, like maybe she haven't been doing this a lot, like you just kind of like going, you know, trying to build your stuff, and I totally get it, but it's not something that I would spend my money on again. It's not something that I would be returning to. It's not something that I'm interested in returning to. It just wasn't what I was expecting out of like this type of event. And yeah, I'm just over it. It was okay. The drinks were weak. The music was subpar. The picture at the end, it was subpar. They had like a little banner on the wall so you can take a picture in front of it. So this is the banner on the wall that they had, and the lady right there taking your picture with her phone, and she'll also take it with your phone as well. And they'll get your phone and take it, you know, the picture of it for you or whatever. And they had somebody else there with their phone taking videos and pictures and stuff. But it's like the way that I seen the video on, like the video for the event and the way that the event went, it was two totally different things. I'll credit that to editing, you know. It was not what I expected. It was not like a very turned up environment. It was just kind of like, what the fuck? For me. Okay, and for my friends too. So I would rate it a 2 out of 5. I would not, you know, recommend this event because it just wasn't something that I would, I guess, want to do again. You know, I'd rather go to Painting with a Twist, pay the little $40, the extra $15, and actually have a, you know, instructor there, actually, you know, get a different, you know, outcome and stuff. So that's my take on this event. It was in Houston, Texas, by the Fifth Ward area. Sugar Brown presents Trap and Paint. And these are our pictures, and after looking at them again, they came out okay for us not having an instructor, but you know.